watching the top 8 games and I'm doing some analysis on them. This time we are watching Wayward versus Zekker. Oh yeah, they're both playing normal. So let's talk a little bit about this combo, because the combo is actually really, really optimal. Even though it might not seem like it, this ender with the Rekka, the default 214C, is the only way to actually end that combo because the spacing is so far away. Yomu's J2A is such an interesting move because it is kind of deceptive and fraudulent in a whole bunch of ways, some of which are beneficial and some of which not. In this instance, the J2A is used as a land cancel to sort of make any next move ambiguous. In a similar way that another character might dash to the ground, Yomu can J2A as a land cancel. It'll whiff, so it'll recover a lot faster, and it'll allow for a more nuanced neutral. And here again we see the J2A. This time it is being used in a different way. It is being used as a stop. So you might notice that Yomu is running really, really fast. If you were to just stop running, you would have to slow down a little bit until you actually stopped. This is a mechanic that doesn't really happen to all characters, but for Yomu it's very relevant. By jumping up and immediately land canceling a J2A to stop your movement, you're actually saving a little bit of frame data. And in this sense, you can even cancel the ending of your J2A into the 2-card clones, as we saw here. Before we get into Typhoon strategies here, I would like to point out that Yomu's grab, the alt skill that Wayward is actually kind of well known for using, will affect somebody in Typhoon. You will get grabbed and you can get knocked down. It's a little bit weird how grabs work in Typhoon, because you don't have block stun, technically speaking, but you still can get hit by grabs and get knocked down by them. What I absolutely love about these players' movement options is how varied they are and how they maneuver around each other in neutral. Yomu is one of those characters where her movement is very unidirectional. You move in one direction, you pick a direction, and you go there. And if you change that direction a whole bunch, it is really quite interesting to see. wish to speak of the combos again. So this combo is really quite cool. It uses the J2A cancel again, but this time with a bunch of backward stuff. It's just a really cool combo in general. I would say congratulations to whoever did this. Here we have the first instance of the infamous Yomu J2A lane cancel cross-up. Because Yomu's J2A is so ambiguous, you will always be facing forward when you land. If you whiff that move when you are facing forward, it will change you to the direction that you're facing your opponent. In this case, it was a fake cross-up, so it was intended to look like Yomu is going to be on the opposite side of other Yomu. And in this case, it was not a real cross-up, and that in of itself was the mix-up, and therefore we're going to round 3. This would have been a very good spot to actually go for a 5-card confirm. Both players have 5-card. We're in round 3. There's absolutely no reason to be stingy with your meter here, especially because both players kind of have the same cards. You should be going for as many spell card confirms as you can. Again, there, off of a crush, there's so many times here in this game where there's an opportunity to go for a spell card conversion, and neither player takes that opportunity. It's a little bit of a shortcoming I'm seeing in this game so far. So, thoughts about that game. Youmu J5A is really kind of batshit, I can't lie. Yes. Catfish's Great Earthquake. This is a very, very interesting move. It's a system card that will delay a giant catfish falling to the ground and hitting both players equally. It can be used as a little bit of a poverty Okizame tool, as something that you can time to your opponent's wake up. In this instance, it was used as kind of a bait, because if you know that there's a catfish that's going to hit the ground and you're going to get damaged. If you stay on the ground, your first instinct is to jump up. However, Wayward anticipated this, so by using the catfish for one card, he effectively baited Zekker into this very nice conversion into a full combo. This is entirely unavoidable. Once you get hit by one melee in that situation, there's just absolutely no escaping it. Once the B bullet happens, that crush string is just unbeatable. Even the coin being used there, just it did nothing. It only made the spirit even less. So the spell card actually killed. It might not have if that coin wasn't used there. This is a very good ambiguous Okizame tool. If you are knocking down your opponent and you knock them down successfully, you jump back, then you jump forward again. That is a little bit of a bait because what your opponent is thinking is, oh, okay, they're expecting that I teched out. I rolled out into the middle of the stage. However, in this instance, you didn't. You actually are right there when they woke up neutral. So they're going to still be kind of stuck in this anticipation that they're going to be able to get out, but they aren't. So they will end up eating a combo just like that. That combo almost dropped there because of River Mist, but it just barely hit. That was kind of disgusting. Oh man. This is another opportunity where you could have gone into the 5-card confirm. And again, it is round 3. It's always a good idea to go for that. If you're in the round 3, you have no reason to save up meter, especially if you have 5 cards. Any of those spell cards actually would have worked there. Not just the 5 card, like all of them would have been fantastic. I just want to point out that this is like the 4th River Mist that we've seen in this set. Look at the HP right now. Look at Wayward's HP. If Zekker had used the 5 card or the 3 card or the 2 card or the 4 card, any time during that J2A confirm, he would have won the round already. I mean, not that it matters, but you know what I mean. Cool combo time, part 15 or whatever. If you are Yomu and you just start jabbing with 2A, as we see here, you can actually link that into default 623C. It's a really strong combo. It's pretty difficult to pull off, but Wayward does it quite a bit. We have another example of J2A being used as a land cancel, this time into an instant air J6A being used to thwart the movement by Zekker. It's just such a fantastic move for just making your next move look entirely ambiguous, because you can do anything after a land cancel J2A. I'd like to take a moment to actually talk about Wayward's deck here. I'm not actually going to show the deck itself, but that skill, I believe it's the Alt 214. It's the one where she went and flew up and then went back down again. You know, it's like a really big flashy version of the J2A. That skill is kind of uncommon. Same with the grab and same with running Catfish. I think that Wayward is a little bit eccentric with his decks in this set and very liberal with his deck swapping. I think it's really interesting to see. This is another example of a very lovely spell confirm. If you are Yomu and you have the default 623, you can use the first hit of the C version, which grazes, by the way, to push through any kind of bullet string that you anticipate to sort of use it as a really strong spell confirm, because into the meditation, the green sword, it does quite a bit of damage, as you see here. You see, that was just kind of unnecessary. Really cool, though. Good way to end a set.